Hey, welcome to Board with Life News for May 27th. Today I'm going to talk about Apocalypse Chaos, Pharaoh's Gulo Gulo, a reprint of Carson City, as well as the Kickstarter for Matainai. Let's get to it. Hey, I'm Chris. Welcome to Board with Life News. Up first, Apocalypse Chaos is a new co-op game for 1 to 4 players coming out from Z-Man Games. It's going to be released at Gen Con this year. It is designed by Florian Fay, and we have virtually no other information because Z-Man Games often doesn't give you nearly enough information. Basically, the general gist is it's in space and you're going to work together to survive aliens somehow. So no idea what the mechanics are. Z-Man Games, you know, obviously they have a great track record, put out a ton of good games all the time. So it might be good, or it might just be like every other co-op game, and I don't know, so I can't help you. I'm sorry, but it'll be out at Gen Con. Up next is Pharaoh's Gulo Gulo, which is a re-theme of the game Gulo Gulo. It is coming out from Haba, which they make incredibly good dexterity games. They make Animal Upon Animal and things like that, usually with wooden components. I'm a huge fan of them, even though they're primarily targeted for children. I play them all the time. Pharaoh's Gulo Gulo has you trying to remove wooden boulders in different colors, and you're trying to move to the space of that color. But there's like a cup with a bunch of boulders of different sizes and also the Pharaoh's staff, and you don't want any other boulders or the staff to fall out. So it's a very simple dexterity game, but that's kind of what Haba does best. It's coming out fall 2015. It's got really nice artwork. It looks like they did a really good job re-theming this, so look forward to that. Quinid Games is celebrating their 10th anniversary, and with that, they're going to be re-releasing one of their most popular titles, Carson City. Carson City is a Western-themed worker placement game. They're going to be doing this via Kickstarter by releasing a big box edition that will have the base game, the very hard-to-find expansion Golden Guns, as well as a brand new expansion, Horses and Heroes. If you already have the base game or the expansions, you can buy Horses and Heroes separately. Horses and Heroes is going to be adding in new actions, new character roles, as well as a 6th player. Carson City is a really interesting Euro game or worker placement game because it is Euro mechanics, but then you have like dice rolling gun battles and stuff like that, which is a little bit more thematic or Ameritrash style. So very interesting game. Very excited to see this hitting Kickstarter sometime in the future. Speaking of Kickstarter, this week's Kickstarter is for Matainai. This is a new design by Carl Cheduk, who is really blown up with the card games lately, did Red 7, Innovation. He's probably best known for the incredibly hard-to-find game Glory to Rome. This is a spiritual successor to Glory to Rome. Matainai has players, you're Buddhist monks, and you're creating works of art to sell at your temple or display. Much like Glory to Rome, it has cards function in multiple ways, so you kind of have to choose, like, do I want to use this as a resource, or do I want to use this for the art, or what? It's a very simple idea. It's only 54 cards, so really great use of kind of minimalist design. That's not a thing. It could be. I don't know. Maybe he does. I mean, he does a good job with that. Like Red 7, that's an incredibly good game for only a couple cards. Innovation, all those. Let's call it minimalist design. I might have just made that up. I don't know. It is $12 right now for the mini version, which has 1 deck of cards and is for 2 to 3 players, or $20 for the deluxe version, which has 2 decks, so it can fit up to 5 players. That's the news for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you like us, subscribe, follow us, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Make sure that you go listen to our Dungeons & Dragons podcast on iTunes or however you like to get podcasts. We also have a sister podcast, Houses and Humans, where we play other RPGs that you should also find and go like that, because it's great. This week's question comes from @JanEngland via Twitter, and they ask, what is your favorite of all the past Spiel des Jahres winners? This is one of the easiest questions I've ever had. It's Dominion, hands down, no question. That's one of my absolute favorite games. Yeah, I think it's an incredibly good game. I'm a big fan of Ticket to Ride. I think Carcassonne will probably be my second favorite after Dominion. I think Carcassonne's great. I've started playing that on the iPhone app all the time now, and it's one of my favorite apps. They did an incredibly good job porting it over, and it's one of the few games that almost maybe works better in an app, which is sacrilege to say, but you can make the tiles don't get all out of place when it's a huge board, and the scoring has always been one of the tough parts of Carcassonne, because you're constantly scoring and there's just so much like to keep track of, and scoring fields and all that, so you can make a lot of mistakes where the app just takes care of all that for you. So that's great. You can play a game in like 5 minutes on the app. It's awesome. But all that being said, I talk a lot about Carcassonne instead of Dominion, but Dominion is by far, hands down, no question, my favorite Spiel des Jahres winner. All right, thanks so much for tuning in this week, and I'll see you next week.